What is going on, my beautiful people that clicked onto this video? Excuse me. If you're new here, let me know in the comment section by saying you're new. Subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you're returning, man, shout out to you for returning. I appreciate you coming through, coming back, checking on your boys. Greatly appreciated, man. The subscriber count is slowly creeping up, man, and it's greatly appreciated. All the people commenting on that particular video where I talked about my thoughts on the country, man. We may not agree on everything, man, but I understand where people are coming from, and I respect everybody's opinion. With that being said, we're about to get into another real topic, man, and that is her first will have her mind, and her baby father will have access to her body. And when I say first, I mean her first love. It don't have to be her first dude that took her virginity, but it could be the first dude that took her virginity if he was also her first love. You know, there's a lot there, guys. You know, women are always in their head. Women are overthinkers. You have to know this as a man. If you don't know this as a man, you're going to be completely lost. You're going to be completely lost. Things that we take in as a man and we just let it fly because either it doesn't apply or it's not that serious. Women contemplate and they think over and over and over. And women be paranoid. You know what I'm saying? Like simple things like if you tell your lady that you're hanging out with your homies and she may overthink and think you're cheating with some girls and stuff like that. That's sometimes how women are. Even if you've done nothing to make them think you're a cheater or lose their trust. You know, a lot of times, man, these dudes be making love to their woman and they woman be fantasizing about their first love. You know, like I said, the first love will always have access to their mind. You know, and as a dude that's coming after her first love, you are pretty much trying to live up to him subliminally. Dang, saying that word was a tongue tie. But yeah, you are trying to live up to her first love without even knowing it. You know, you in your mind are not doing that. You're just being yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're enjoying her or whatever. You know, but really, you're trying to live up to him because there's a lot of things that her first love did emotionally to her to make her feel that you are going to make her feel as well, and it's really not going to be special, guys. I'm going to be real to you. No matter how much she smiles in your face, no matter how good she makes you feel, you know, you're not giving her anything special. You know, you're not doing anything new for her. And I'm not talking about vacation wise, I'm not talking about gifts or anything like that. I'm just talking about emotionally. You know, not to say that a woman can't fall in love again. You know, not to say that you can't bring a woman back to a vulnerable state if she was kind of like if she kind of like shelter herself or she was kind of like to herself because of what happened to her in her past. I'm not saying you can't make her fall in love again. All I'm saying is that the feelings you're gonna give her, she felt that feeling before, man. So you know, it's something that her first love will not brag about, but you know, something that her first love will know. You know, and especially if he isn't over her yet or he still has feelings towards her, that's something that a first love, a guy who knows he's a woman's first love, he's going to keep that in the back of his mind. No matter if she moved on with somebody else, he knows, like, I have a special place in her heart. You know, and a lot of times if things don't work out, you know, she'll come back to me. I've had friends, I've had homies like this that were a woman's first love. It didn't work out. And, you know what I'm saying, they were hoping that, you know, it didn't work out with her new relationship, that she would come back. And there was even one example where she did. You know, there was a dude who was a woman's first love. He took her virginity. He was with her for a while and things didn't work out. But she tried to move on with somebody else, probably like 4 or 5 months. It didn't work out and she came back. You know what I'm saying? And they started messing around again. So a lot of times as a man, if a woman is not fully over her first love, because that's really what it is. And I should have said that. You know, a lot of women aren't really over their first love. They're trying to date you, maybe watching this, or date a new guy to get over the first love because they're not really over him. So a lot of times women could just use you, you know, and it sucks. It sucks as a man, but this is why my but yesterday's video when I talked about it was I either posted yesterday or day before yesterday, but my previous video where I talked about vetting these women and having them talk about their previous relationships. You know, when you do these things, then you'll realize what place you could put her in and what place she has you in mentally. You get what I'm saying? So it works both ways. And I think that's pretty cool how a previous video can tie into today's video. So yeah, man, that's as far as the first love goes. Again, you having sex with this woman sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you're doing your thing, she moaning, but she's thinking about her first love, you know? And there's even been situations where women have called dudes a different name. And the name they use are their first love. You know, I'm pretty sure it's happened to plenty of dudes. I've heard stories and I know it's happened. Now, as far as the baby father goes, man, this is why I don't suggest men dating women with children and the baby father is in the same state, same town, like he's actively in their lives. Because a woman can easily sleep with her baby father, even though she's in a relationship with you. And this is the worst part about it. Some don't even see it as cheating, you know? Or some see it as cheating, but they expect you to understand and get over it and not be so mad at them as like it's not a stranger. Someone be like, it's the father of my kids. He is my kid's father. That's how a lot of women see it and say it. Because they see that as different than just sleeping with some random. You know, when a woman has kids with a man, that's a special bond. Especially if the guy is coming to her house to see the kids, or he's coming to pick up the kids, and maybe he comes outside and she comes outside to bring the kids out, and she sees the interaction. She sees how the kid runs, daddy, runs into his arms. She sees her baby father looking good. He's dressed nice. You know, maybe he lost some weight and stuff like that. Women start to get the butterflies in their stomach. You know, they start overthinking again. And women can overthink negatively or positively. You know, this can negatively affect you, even though it's positive. Because at the end of the day, a woman should stay with the father of her children. She should stay and spend the rest of her life with the father of her children, because the children need that dynamic. And it's just better that way. There's no way like some random dude should be taking care of another man's kids. There's no way that a woman should have a random dude around her baby father's seeds, around his and her seeds, around another man's nut. Like, I'm not trying to be nasty, but I'm being real with you. We all human beings came from sperm. Yes, the woman held, you know, her fetus, however it goes, and held us in her womb for 8-9 months, however long. But you got to go to where it started. I'm all about where things start. If you want to fix a problem, you know, you want to find a solution, you got to go to the source, where it started. The source of how we're born is through male sperm. You know, so a lot of women be having these random dudes around another man's sperm, and it's weird. It really is. But yeah, man, that's a dynamic that I believe in. That both parents that bared that child should be raising that child, or bared children should be raising those children, not another dude, you know, and not another woman. If a dude ends up gaining full custody and he moves on, there should be no stepmom, none of that type of weird stuff. You know, at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of conflict. And some people make it work, but there's a lot of conflict until they make it work. And is it worth it for you? You have to ask yourself. But yeah, man, a lot of times women start looking, man, my baby father looking good, you know, and a lot of times the baby father, he knows this woman. You got to understand, man, this man was able to lay down with this woman, have unprotected sex with her, and bear a child. He knows her. So he's going to know the right things to say. He's going to know the right things to do, sometimes without crossing the line, just to get her back in his good graces. And a lot of times for the baby father to get the mother of their child back in the good graces is to get some cheeks. That's really all it is. A lot of times these dudes don't even want to get back with their baby mom. They just want to be able to hit whenever they can, and they will take advantage. They don't care if she's in a new relationship. They don't care about none of that. So you as a man dating her, you have to keep this in mind, man. You have to remember, man, the baby father can get the cheeks whenever he wants. And do not listen to these women that tell you, no, he can't. I'm over him. I don't think about him. Yes, believe it if he's not actively in their lives. Believe that if he's not actively in their lives. But if there's ever a time where you're not around and they have to communicate to, you know, to give each other the children, or I'm dropping Neek off at my grandmother's house and my baby father's going to meet me there to pick her up. You know, any interaction with your lady and the father of her children, any interaction with you not around is not good. Plain and simple, and it's bound to happen. That's why just don't even get in this situation. But again, there's going to be dudes who watching this who are already in this situation, or dudes who feel like the woman looks so good and she's such a good woman that they're willing to take that chance. But again, just keep this in the back of your mind, man. She has an active baby father, man. He's going to have access to her body whenever he wants. And a lot of times these dudes, the baby father, they're sleeping around. Sometimes they have a woman or they're sleeping around with multiple women. And they can mess around and give their baby mother a STD. And then she give it to you because she didn't even tell you that she cheating. A lot of women ain't going to tell you they cheating. What woman tell you she cheating and she could get away with it? Especially with her baby father. When, like I said, some of them don't even see it as cheating. So yeah, guys, I don't want this video to be too long, man, but you just got to understand as a man. And let me end it with this, man. There are still a lot of beautiful virgins. I'm going to say it again. There are a lot of beautiful virgins. You just have to find them. A lot of times, these virgins are the quiet ones that you see in the gym that are working out on a piece of cardio equipment, but they always go by themselves far away. They stay to themselves. They quiet. They don't talk to nobody. A lot of times, these are the virgins, the quiet girls, the ones that you see got a nice body, but it's covered up. Like I'm speaking off of example, man. I'm here right here, guys, at Planet Fitness. About to get this workout in. Like, so I have an LA Fitness membership too, man. I train at both. And I can't stand, I have to throw this out. I can't stand when people say, oh, you work out at Planet Fitness. I know you don't know what you're doing. Listen, if you really know what you're doing, if you have great mind-muscle connection, you can build muscle anywhere at any gym. It doesn't matter where it is. I've seen dudes build a nice physique with just dumbbells. Just 25-pound metal dumbbells. Sheesh. Back in the day, bodybuilders didn't have gyms. They just had simple dumbbells and barbells, all right? But, yeah, guys. I'm going to lose my train of thought. What was I saying? Dang it. Yeah, guys. So, like I was about to say, I was at Planet Fitness one night working out, and I met this young lady. She was like around 19, 20, and she was covered up. Like she had on leggings, you could tell, but she had on a long dress over it, and you could see the hump. Like you could see the hump. Like she had a nice butt, you know. And I ended up approaching her, talking to her, getting to know her. She was a church girl. She was a virgin, never been in a real relationship or anything like that. And you know, I was just chopping it up with her, and she was in search to find somebody, but he had to be somebody that was willing to be in the church, go to church, and she was waiting till marriage. Yes, guys, she was waiting till marriage to lose her virginity. So, you know, that's just one example of many, man. There are many virgins still out here. Again, you just have to, and again, it's crazy. It's going to tie into another video. I said, like, what dating coaches are on tell you, got to put yourself out there, man. You got to go to different gyms. Don't just stick with the gym in your town or your area. Don't just stick with the coffee shop in your town or your area. Don't just stick with the whatever food place if they have other ones kind of like in these rural towns, in these suburbs or in these smaller towns that you never been to, the quiet towns, man. You got to frequent these places. And God is my witness, man. I'm not lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying, man. I was in two long-term relationships, five to 6 years with two women that were virgins. And God is my witness. I'm not making this up, you know. And it actually wasn't hard to find them. I just had to go to the suburbs. They weren't city women. They weren't city. They were in the rural towns in the suburbs, away from the BS. A lot of times, these are the women that come from good homes, that don't run into these street dudes, that are trying to get in their drawers quick. And they were raised with good morals, and they were raised to respect themselves, man. So, yeah, man, just to end this all, like I said, man, just be very careful dealing with women that still have not gotten over their first, still in love with their first, and using you to try to get over him. And stay away from these women that got active baby fathers in their lives, man, that they say, oh, yeah, me and my baby father, we get along. We have a good relationship with the kids. You know, we're cool, we're this, we're that. Stay away from that, man. I'm just giving you advice. At the end of the day, as a man, you're going to do what you want to do. But, hey, if you have to come back here and say, listen, you were right, I greatly appreciate that, man. That really helps me, man. I like when grown men admit when they were wrong, or admit when they made a mistake, and they come back and say, man, you were right. I should have listened to you. Comment and tell people, listen to him. I've been through this, so other people know. Please do that, man. If you're somebody who saying, man, forget what he's saying, and then you watch this video, please, I don't care if it's 6 months, a year, I don't care how long it takes, man, because this video will stay up as long as YouTube is up. As long as YouTube doesn't take it down, I'm not taking it down. So please come back, man, and let me know your experiences with dealing with these type of women that have not gotten over their first and are active with their baby fathers, all right? I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace and love.